today is story time again. So we are going to read a book, and it's going to be so interesting and exciting. Do you want to hear the story? And it is called, this is so exciting, Princess and the Frog. See? Are you ready to read? Do you want to hear the story? Okay, so the story is going to be with this little cutie. Her name is Tiana. She's like a child, like me. Maybe she's like 7 or 5. So now we are going to read a book. Let's get started. One evening, Tiana and her friend Charlotte LaBouffe were listening to Tiana's mother, Adora, reading a story about a frog who needed a kiss from a princess to turn him into a human friend. Charlotte was ready to kiss a frog if it meant she could be a princess, but not so for Tiana. She would never ever kiss a frog. Yeah. And I wanted to tell you guys that this is the funny part, that Charlotte is kissing a cat. And it was a costume frog. Come on, let's continue. Back at home, Tiana and her father James talked of their dream of opening their own restaurant. Later, Tiana wanted to wish on the evening star. Please. So their dream would come true. James acknowledged her to wish, but also to remember to work hard and never forget the importance of family and friends, of love. Hey, where are you going? The years went by, and Tiana became a beautiful young woman. Her father had passed away, but Tiana was still determined to open their restaurant. She waited tables day and night and saved every spare penny she could. She knew that her hard work would pay off one day and her dream would come true. Not far away, a carefree prince arrived in town just in time for Mardi Gras. Tiana's friend Charlotte was especially excited to meet Prince Naveen at her father's masquerade ball that night. I'm going to need about 500 of your men-catching beginners, she told Tiana. Tiana was thrilled when Charlotte paid her enough money for Tiana to finally buy her restaurant. That afternoon, Tiana made an offer on the old sugar mill she and her father had picked out long ago. It will be the place Daddy and I always dreamed of, Tiana told her mother as she imagined how glamorous the restaurant would look when it was done. Okay, so she is a human now. She's a woman, and she's a princess. But, okay, let's continue. Where do we stop? Your daddy may not have got the place he always wanted, said Adora gently, but he had something better. He had love, and that That's all I want for you, sweetheart. Tiana just laughed. Love was the last thing on her mind at this moment in time. Meanwhile, downtown, a sinister figure approached Prince Naveen and his valet Lawrence. Dr. Faisler practiced bad voodoo, and he had wicked plans for the prince. Lawrence didn't trust the stranger.
Again.
The plan was for Lawrence to marry Charlotte and split her fortune with Faisler. After Tiana discovered that someone had offered more money for the sugar mill, the deal was off. Tiana was so upset that tripped into her beginner table. Her dress was ruined, but Charlotte, gave her a beautiful princess gown to wear. See? I have a princess gown also. I'm Tiana. After she had changed, Tiana wandered out to the balcony and looked up at the evening star. She was a little foolish. Looking up at the evening star, her eyes and made a wish. When Tiana opened her eyes again, a frog was staring up at her. Very funny. So, what do you want to do? I am Prince Naveen of Moldonia. Here. I am Prince Naveen of Moldonia, the frog said grandly. Dr. Faisler had turned Prince Naveen into a frog, and he thought that only a kiss from a prince could turn him back into a human. Naveen! Go away! Moldonia! Moldonia? A prince? I never wished for a prince. Faisler had turned Prince Naveen into a frog, and he thought that only a kiss from a princess could turn him back into a human. He also thought that Tiana was a princess. Surely I could offer you some type of reward. I wish I could grant. Perhaps Tiana felt sorry for the frog. Plus, she really did want her restaurant. She closed her eyes and smooch! Naveen was still a frog. Now Tiana was a frog too. I'm a frog, and I'm slimy. No, this is not slimy.
Show me your Tiana and Naveen. Show me. Can I see them?
I hate being a frog.
Okay.
Blech. And I'm slimy. Okay. But Tiana was completely frantic. She tackled Naveen and they tumbled down to the masquerade ball. The party turned to chaos. Naveen and Tiana grabbed onto some balloons and drifted to the bayou, where Naveen found out that Tiana was not a real princess. No wonder the kiss didn't work, he exclaimed. But Naveen couldn't be too angry. He had lied about being rich. Nonetheless, the two frogs would both have to work hard to find a way out of this mess. The next morning, Naveen and Tiana met a friendly trumpet playing alligator.
Continue.
Where did I stop? He and Naveen talked about jazz music, but all Tiana cared about was finding someone to break the spell that had turned them into frogs. Louise told them a magic woman named Mama Audie might be able to help. She agreed to take them to her. Maybe she would turn Louis human too. And his dream of playing in a jazz band would finally come true. Meanwhile, Lawrence, magically disguised as Naveen, was already proposing to Charlotte. The spell was running out quickly. Luckily, Charlotte was so thrilled at the idea of being a princess that she didn't even notice Lawrence changing back into his true self. We're going to have ourselves a Mardi Gras wedding, Charlotte squealed. Mama. Okay, I'm Tiana. See? Well, I know that I don't have a green dress, but I have blue, and it's turquoise, and it's mixed with green. I'm Prince Naveen of Moldova. Moldova. Cool. Mama, look, crocodile.
Yes.
Back in the bayou, Tiana and Naveen tangled tongues while trying to catch food a firefly. The firefly named Ray helped them and then kindly offered to show them the way to Mama Audie's once on land. Some hunters captured Tiana. Naveen bravely hopped to her rescue, and Tiana was able to escape. When the hunters tried to club the frogs, they hit each other instead. Wow, they're Suddenly, the shadows sent by Facer grabbed Naveen. Luckily, Mama Audie saved him. Mama was an old woman who used voodoo to help people. We need to be human, Tiana told her. You want to be human? But you're blind. To what you need, Mama Audie declared. Tiana peeked into Mama Audie's tub and gumbo and saw an imagine of Big Daddy LaBeouf as the king of Mardi Gras. Made Charlotte a princess. If Naveen could kiss Princess Charlotte before midnight, then he and Tiana would become human again.
Would become
human. Tiana, Naveen, Louis, and Ray got a ride on the riverboat to the city. So this is Mama Audie's snake. It's green. And I saw in the cartoon, in Tiana cartoon, that the snake had yellow eyes. Can you see? Yeah, it's exactly like it. Okay, yellow eyes. Where did we stop? Along the way, Naveen confessed to Ray that he was in love with Tiana. Naveen surprised her with a romantic dinner. As they drifted along, Tiana pointed out the sugar mill, and she and her father had chosen for their restaurant so long ago. Naveen's heart sank. In order to make Tiana's dream come true, he would have to marry Charlotte and beg her to buy Tiana her restaurant. There was no other way to give the money for the sugar milk. In time, heartbroken, Naveen left Tiana and was snatched by the evil shadows. Back at the Labouf estate, whoosh! The shadows swept in with Naveen. Faithler was thrilled. He used Naveen to restore the talisman magic, and Lawrence changed into the handsome prince once more. Now Lawrence could marry Charlotte. Naveen finally understood the wicked plot just as Faithler locked him inside a small chest. Ray found Naveen and freed him from the chest. As Charlotte and her groom were about to say "I do," Naveen jumped onto Lawrence the frog, quickly pulled the talisman from the impostor's neck and tossed it to Ray. Furious that his plan was falling apart, Faithler told Lawrence, who looked like his old self, to stay hidden. In a different part of the parade, Louis was finally playing in a Mardi Gras jazz band. Just then, Ray flew by, struggling with the heavy talisman. Faithler and the evil shadows were right behind him. Louis knew what he had to do. He turned his back on the band and took off to help Ray. Lawrence found Tiana sitting in a cemetery and gave her the talisman before flying off to the fight Faithler and the shadows, but Faithler knocked down the little bug and stepped on him. Faithler quickly caught up with Tiana, thinking fast. She threatened to shatter the talisman, but Faithler played a trick on her. Tiana magically found herself in her dream restaurant, and she was human again. Perhaps I can offer you a little something bargain. Bargain, Faithler silly. Faithler silly. Slowly. Then the illusion changed and Tiana saw her father. "Don't forget your poor daddy," Faithler said, reminding her of her.
Reminding 1, 2, 3.
Of her. Reminding her of her father's dream. "My daddy never got what he wanted," Tiana declared. Suddenly, everything clear as day. But he had what he needed. Her daddy knew that the love of his family was more important than anything else. And the way he could cook and bring together people from all over to share food and good times. Tiana shattered the talisman instantly. She was a frog again, and Faithler lost his control over the shadows. They surrounded him. Soon all that was left of Faisler was his hat. Tiana rushed to the trunch there, and there she overheard Naveen promise to marry Charlotte if she kissed him, but you must give Tiana all the money she requires for her restaurant, said Naveen. Don't, Tiana protested as she hopped out of the shadows. My dream wouldn't mean anything without you. Charlotte knew true love when she saw it. I'll kiss you, she said to Naveen. No marriage required. But it was too late. The clock chimed midnight. Tiana and Naveen didn't mind that they were in love, even if they were still frogs. Just then, Louis raised up crying. He held wondered Ray. Faisler had hurt him badly. He was dying. Tiana and Naveen raced to his side. Ray was happy to see that his friends were together and in love. Then his light flickered out, returning to the bayou. The friends bid the little firefly goodbye. So sad, huh? A little while later, Naveen and Tiana were married by Mama Audie in the bayou. As Naveen kissed Tiana, something truly magical happened. The frogs turned back into humans. Like I told you, kissing a princess breaks with the spell, Mama Audie said with a laugh. And once you became my wife, that made you, Naveen began a princess. Tiana finished. You just kissed yourself a princess. That's how she talked. Soon there was a new restaurant in town. Tiana's Palace. It was the best place to go for good food, lively music, and fun with friends and family. Tiana had nothing more to wish for because she had everything she had ever wanted and everything she needed. Mama, here, this is our evening star. See?
Amir, show me the butterfly.
Joining on my story time, and please subscribe my channels. Please give me lots of thumbs up and have fun. See you soon, and we'll read a new book. And I'll tell you, maybe it will be Frozen. Okay, Amir, how was it? Did you like it? It was like. Did you know that the humans were frogs, okay?
I know.
These two were into frogs. And then they turned human again. Okay,